Hello, so we are reading Wanting More, Chapter 11, and our purpose for this today is to complete what we would call a diary entry from the voice of one of the characters. So here you see a sample that will be provided, which you should imitate by using your inferencing skills to understand the text and draw conclusions about what the character feels, how and why they feel the way that they do. So you're going to turn to the handout for chapter 11 in this book, and we are going to read this together. So your task as I read is for you to follow along and complete either the highlighting, important details, or previewing the text in order to draw conclusions and make inferences about what's happening in the text. So we're starting on page 99. Follow along as I read aloud. I'm on a busy street, the same street that Aga Akram's shop. I see him standing at the front in a clean apron, his arms crossed. I wave, but he doesn't recognize me. Men and women flow past me. I can barely see their faces. They don't look at me, but their elbows and shoulders jostle me. They're all traveling the wrong way, and somehow I must get through. There's something ahead I must see, and yet I'm not sure what it is. Through the crowd, I catch a glimpse of the back of Baba's head. I'm trying to get close to see if it's really him, but he's walking quickly. It's hard to get through. Then Baba turns to say something to someone beside him. It's her. So I'm wondering who she's talking about here. With such a rage boils up inside me. I push my way out of the edge of the crowd, see a good clod of cow dung lying on the ground, and pick it up. So we can make an inference about what she's planning to do with this cow dung. Let's see if it comes true. It's easier to make my way along the edges of the crowd. I'm right alongside them. I want them to see me, to know it's me, so I call them. So we're back up here. They turn in slow motion, and with all my might, I hurl it at her. This says hurl, it's hard to read. I hurl it at her, but he steps in the way. It shatters all over Baba's face. Dung clings to his hair, his nose, his clothes, and she's standing beside him, as clean as ever. It was supposed to hit her. I can't stand. I fall in a heap, stepped over and stepped on by the crowd. Don't they feel me beneath their feet? Don't they know I'm here? I wipe my eyes, and they really are wet. I'm all curled up, but it's not the street, it's my bed. So let's make an inference here. So had all this happened, or was it indeed a dream based on this passage here? Let's keep on reading. Even in my dream, he chose her. So we do confirm it's a dream. And he, meaning Baba, chose her, the stepmother. More was wrong. Being good isn't enough. You have to be beautiful, or at least rich. So here again we see her struggling with the idea of how she looks, her beauty. And despite the prophet's advice, peace be upon him, I am angry. So angry I'm trembling. The tears flow, and for once I can't stop them. They're so hot they could burn me. They make my pillow damp. Some even trickle into my ear. I try to muffle my sobs. I don't want to wake Soraya. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to forget. And when my eyes are all puffy and swollen, I just can't cry anymore. What has changed? What have I solved? Nothing. Anger is for people who can do something about it. When I stop sobbing, my heart is calm, and when I open my puffy eyes, I can see that the light has changed. Dawn is on its way. Farsh time. I'm ready to pray. The water is cold and refreshing on my hot face. During prayer, so we've concluded this page, we move on to the next. 1:20. During prayer, I turn all my problems over to Allah. He has all the power. It's up to him to take care of me. So we can see she still relies on her faith to get her through these difficult situations. Afterwards, I go back and lie on my bed. I turn my pillow over so the damp side is away from me. I don't think I'll sleep, but before I know it, Soraya is calling me for breakfast. It's yogurt and naan again. Afterwards, we head over to our classrooms. So she's going back to school. I'm so lucky. They give me a small piece of a pencil and a bit of paper. The paper is a little crumpled, but one side is still clear. The rest of the kids in Arwa's class have nothing to write on. I'm the biggest girl in the room, so we can make an inference. Why is she the biggest girl in this room? Arwa sidles up to me, so her bony knee is touching mine. She stinks, so I move away. She slides closer again. I stare at her in such a way that it crushes a smile on her face and makes her look down. I know it's mean, but I can't help it. If only she wasn't so dirty. I can't stand filthy kids. My teacher's name is Karima. She walks in smoothly, wearing what those girls in Kabul call a chadri, or burqa. It's a long cloak that's tied at the head but flows out over her clothes with mesh over the eyes. So we see what a burqa is. It covers the entire body. Underneath, she's holding books to her chest. She sets them down, and then in front of us all, she takes off the chadri, folds it neatly, and sets it aside. Her hair is braided at the back. Her eyes are lined with kohl, slightly slanted. She sits down gracefully, setting her Punjabi clothes around her in a pretty manner. Two of the girls are fighting. She just watches them for a moment. So what does this tell us about the setting? Two girls are fighting in the classroom in Kabul. Something makes me get up to try to pry them apart. One of them has a fistful of the other's hair and is pulling like she's enjoying it. I give that one a pinch. It's enough to make her let go. Karima asks me to set the girls on opposite sides of the room. She has a chalkboard behind her that looks like it was once black, but is now a dusty gray. She starts with the alphabet. I already know some of the letters. I recognize Jim right away. We know this because it's part of her name. She asks us to repeat after her. My voice is the loudest. She shows us the vowel marks and how they change the sounds the letters make. It's like a secret code. It's so fascinating. I think I can get it. There's a letter for almost every sound you can make. And it's just a matter of stringing together the right words and the right vowel marks to say whatever you want them to say. She's teaching us Farsi, but it wouldn't be hard to use the same letters to write what I want in Pushtu. So we know she knows two languages, Farsi and Pushtu. At lunchtime, I seek Soraya. I'm so excited. I have to share what I've learned with someone. Arwa is too little, and Ziba wouldn't care. But when I tell Soraya about it, she snorts. What are you talking about? Learning to read? Soraya snorts again. It doesn't make you a better person. If you're mean before, you'll still be mean after. I know plenty of idiots who can read. I find this funny. But let's think about that. Does education really change people's attitudes? I make myself nod and keep my mouth shut. She finds the best bowls and naan, and the four of us sit down. How can she not see what it means to me? Turning over to the next page. Arwa is trying to eat her fruit as fast as she can. There are drips of yogurt falling from her chin. Disgusting. Slow down, I tell her. She doesn't say anything. She just licks her lips and glances at Ziba. When we're finished, Ziba starts saying bad things about their teacher, and Soraya laughs. I try not to listen, using my last chunk of naan to wipe my bowl clean. Without warning, the door opens, and Kala Gul leads a number of huge men inside. I'm the only one to grab my Purani to cover my head and face. They're foreigners, soldiers, wearing splotchy, dull green uniforms. I wonder if they are American. I wonder if they are the ones who killed my family. So we can infer this is happening because of the war between the U.S. and Afghanistan. They're standing there in their huge black boots, so tall they practically touch the ceiling. Kala Gul gestures in one direction and says something in a strange language. We can guess this is probably, if they are American, maybe English or maybe Spanish or an American language that we see in our country. Soraya nudges Ziba, and they both bend their heads and giggle. I nudge Soraya. What? Kala Gul is at it again. You'll see. All the girls are quiet. There's a nervous silence in the air. Kala Gul comes right up to me and touches my chin to lift my face toward these strange men. What is she doing? What's happening? She's talking to them in that strange language. They're staring at me. I want to hide. She grabs a corner of my Purani and tries to pull it away. I yank it from her. Then she bends down and whispers in my ear, "These men can help you." So their plan is to do what? To help her. Let's see if they actually do. You need to show them your face. The whole room is staring at me, including Soraya and Ziba. I've got no choice. Kala Gul says, "It's all right, Jamila. I'm right here." So I let the Pirani fall away, but that's not enough. Kalagol grabs my chin and lifts my face right up so they can see my ugly lip. I might as well be standing there naked. That's how I feel. I'm forced to stare right into their glassy blue eyes, so we can tell maybe something about their ethnicity. They're looking at me with pity on their faces. Kalagol finally lets go of my chin, and I can get away from their strange faces and piercing eyes. They say something, and Kalagol looks happy. She nods vigorously. Some of her hair escapes from that flimsy Pirani she wears and swishes back and forth. They stand there, for I don't know how long, talking about us in this other language, like we don't even exist. Then she goes down the room and points out a few more girls. Arwa touches my arm. Are you all right? My face is hot, so she's probably, what? Embarrassed. Soraya nudges me. Jamila, I'm all right. I feel a bit better when I pull my knees up to my chest and hug them. Soraya says, don't worry about it. It's happened to all of us. You just have to get used to it. She brings all of these foreigners through here, and tells them our sad stories so they'll give the place money. That's how we survive. Ziba nods, and then when she gets mad at them for something and kicks them out. So around page 105. She's always going through new people. These men might actually be useful. I wonder if they'll fix the toilets. So we know there's probably a problem, maybe with the toilets. Arwa touches my hand again. Don't feel bad. I was scared too the first time it happened. I'm much bigger now. Her words make me smile. Then she says, I'm glad you're in my class. Do you like my teacher? I stiffen and turn away. She's trying to trick me. Make me like her. She's too clingy. There's just something about her. So we can see that maybe Jamila's having a problem trusting those around her. After lunch, we pray Zur. I'm shocked at the way the girls pray. Most of them don't even bother to say the words. Soraya prays, but Ziba sits in a corner and chats with a friend. There are some books in here. I pick one up and look at the squiggles and dots and lines on the page. Some of them look a little familiar to me now. I'm sure I see gems, and a few ha's, and even a ka. Kala Karima sees me and comes over. Please be careful with these books. They're the only copies we have. I wouldn't ruin them for the world. She looks at me like I've said something strange. She says, these are some Qurans, and these are tafsirs, translations and explanations of the Quran. Some are in Farsi and some are in Pashto. See the lettering? I touch the spines of the book. Will I learn to read these? So we know she's curious to learn. Inshallah, it wouldn't be too hard. Pashto in Farsi took the Arabic letters and just added a few extra. They are all very similar. If I could learn to read these very books, Moore would be so proud of me. So we can guess how Moore would feel if she were still alive. Kala Karima closes the book and says, I'm glad you joined our class. I think little ones will pay better attention now that you're here. I nod. If I can help in any way, let me know. She smiles, and for a moment she looks less tired. I'm scared to ask, but I know I shouldn't be. Kala, could you show me how to write my name? I saw it once very quickly, but I can't remember all the letters. I can't help thinking of Masood and that woman. Her face lights up. Of course, it's Jamila, right? My grandfather brought the same name back when he went for Hajj. If you remember anything about Hajj, this is a tradition in Islam where they must make a journey to Mecca as one of the 5 pillars of their faith, one of the 5 principles of their faith. My mother was just a little girl, and he told her if she ever had a daughter, she should give her that name. Kala Karima nods. Yes, you pronounce it the Arabic way. It means beautiful. So we know Jamila means beautiful. Think about what's the impact of her name, meaning Jamila, on the way she feels about herself. As she writes it, just like Masood did, she says each letter it contains out loud. Jim, Mi, Mim, Ya, La, Ha. One continuous word, not broken up at all. It really is beautiful. So take a moment to pause and return to the example where you're going to think about and speak from the voice of one of the characters in the chapter. So we're going to continue to do this throughout our time in order to think about how the characters interact with each other, what their experiences are throughout the book, and what their internal lives are like, what they think as they experience these things. The purpose of a journal entry is to do to do it in that way. So take a moment, pause, reread if you have to, and review in order to complete a journal entry of your own.